It's Lake Conference Gymnastics tonight on CCX as the Wayzata Trojans come to Minnetonka to take on the Hopkins Royals. From Hopkins High School, John Jacobson and Debbie Rasmussen. And Debbie, excited to be back in the gym and watch these girls compete. Here we are in early February, and it's just the second meet of the season for Wayzata and the third of the year for Hopkins.
You know, I'm just so excited that sports are back for these young athletes. I think all the way around they have adapted to different set of circumstances. You look at them all in their masks. They're following all the protocol, yet we are here tonight to celebrate that we are back. So excited.
Hopkins has won both of their meets. Wayzata is 1-0 in their one meet that they've competed. Both teams we would expect to be in the upper 130s for a team score with the potential to get into the low to mid 140s by season's end. And we just found out today information on the state meet. That'll be March 26th for Class A, March 27th for Class AA at Champlin Park High School this year. All the AA competition will be on Saturday the 27th. The Section 6 AA meet will be right back here at Hopkins. And these two teams will be the favorites going in. So we'll find out a lot tonight. Perhaps a little preview, so to speak, of the section meet and what we see this evening.
You know, and Hopkins has that extra meet under their belt where this is Wayzata's second meet, it's Hopkins' third. I think they may have a little bit of advantage because they have had those two meets, but Wayzata has always been a super strong and confident team, and I'm just so excited to see these two compete against each other because it probably will set the stage for that conference meet later on in the year. And it'll be a little different this year to not have it down at the U, the state meet, but on the other hand, we're just so grateful and blessed that it is here and it is happening.
Wayzata will start out our varsity competition on the uneven bars. Ella Milo will start the competition. She'll be followed by Marissa Dennis, Tatum Bolson, Izzy Hayden, and Sasha Arney. And we are ready to go.
It's always fun to start out on bars. It can be a high-scoring event for both teams. Watching them in warm-ups, they're both incredibly strong. She's starting out with a good routine. She's got some nice giants on that high bar. Beautiful layout dismount with a stuck landing. Great start for Wayzata tonight. Some of the things we're going to be looking for on bars is body lines. Are they, do they have bend in their arms and their legs? Do they create that nice long line? Also, the ever important solid landing. We call that a stick in gymnastics. Nicely done. And as always, as these meets start, it always takes a little bit for the judges. You know, that first person up kind of sets the pace for everything. So we want to make sure that we're starting out with a score that
here's a look at the rotation and how we'll see the schools tonight. Wayzata starting out on the bars, and then the Hopkins and Wayzata on the vault, then Hopkins bars, 4 beam, and the home team always finishing on the floor exercise. Score of 7.35 for Ella Milo and now Marissa Dennis.
Marissa starting out facing a direction. She's going to change directions here, which is a requirement on the bars. She's moving extremely well. She's got great swing, a little bit of a form break there. However, one move goes straight into the next, and again, they are nailing these landings. Nice job.
Marissa's top score coming into the meet. Again, they just had the one meet. Coming into this meet was a 7.3. I should say her only score so far this season. If you look at part of her routine again.
Beautiful body position, great straight arms. She had a little bit of a form break. They do take a little bit of deduction if there's, a separation of the legs or if there's a little bit of arch in the back on top of those handstands. But you can't do a better dismount than that. It was absolutely perfect.
Tatum Bolsom, who's one of the all-arounders, will be up next here for Wayzata.
I love that their masks are bedazzled and sparkling. I mean, if you're going to wear a mask, you might as well
do it in
make
style, right?
Yeah.
7.625 score for Marissa Dennis. And now here is Tatum Bolson.
Starting out with a glide kip, and then she switches again a different direction to that second glide kip. These are beautiful giants, nicely done. Oh, one of the toughest dismounts that we will see in high school gymnastics is that double back flyaway. She almost had too much height, and she actually over-rotated that. Usually you don't have enough height, and you fall forward. When you end up falling backward, you've had too much. But those were a perfect example of what your giant swing should look like. The body position's perfect. There's no bend in the hip, no bend in the arms.
Izzy Hayden will be next, another all-rounder for Wayzata.
We saw her hit those double backs during warm-up, so I thought, oh my gosh, this is gonna be good. So sometimes you just get too much energy, too much adrenaline, and it's hard to say that, you know, she could have probably done that in a pike position as well. She had so much height.
Well, the fall definitely costing Tatum Bolson there on the landing as far as her score. And she will come in with a mark of 7.6.
She would have easily been in the high 8s, probably had she stuck that. She certainly swung beautifully. Beautiful handstand pirouette on that low bar. Very unique way to show that change of direction. Free hip to hand. Again, the body position is just gorgeous. Really powerful. Oh, there we go. Another double back flyaway. It's amazing when a team has one double back, and here they've had two already. Again, the height was so much, she had to take that step back. It'll be a small deduction, but she was able to stay on her feet. She did, in the beginning of the routine, she did a glide kip handstand pirouette on the top of that low bar. You don't see that often. I love the originality, the uniqueness of that, and it is difficult.
Sasha Arney will be the fifth and final competitor for Wayzata. Their top returning gymnast from a year ago as far as scores. 36.225 was her all-around score in their first meet, including a score of 8.725 on the bars. She is a returning state participant, both team and individual. Izzy Hayden, a score of 8.525. And now here is Sasha Arney.
She starts off with a kip, glide kip switch. She has beautiful form on this. Her toe point is quite amazing. These are gorgeous. They are solid. Wow. Another unique dismount. That's a toe on front off. You don't see that hardly at all at this level. And it's a blind landing, so it's a little bit difficult. She's opening up and, you know, at that time, not sure where she's going to be. But you'll see here she does this toe on, front flip, and just a slight step on that landing. You know, as being that this is just their second meet, and they probably, I don't know how much practice time they got before they could actually, you know, normally you're used to being in the gym, probably since season ended last year, but we haven't had that. So considering these teams, I don't know how long they've been able to work out and at what extent they've been able to do. So far so good. Wayzata looks really strong.
First day of team practices for all sports were January 4th.
Wow.
Depending on how much workouts the girls did on their own before that. But again, a lot of that didn't happen last summer or even in the fall with different facilities and in the schools. So it's been a shortened season, but I think coaches of the girls are happy to be here, and
yes,
everything going well, considering that we're a month into the season really, and we're very early into the meet competition part of the season. 8.625, excuse me, Deb, for Sasha Arney on the bars.
You have to I mean, it can take 6 weeks just to put a floor routine together, you know, and to memorize it and to hit the marks and listen to the music. It's just crazy that they've had 4 weeks to throw an entire, you know, competitive team ready to go.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. Next up, Hopkins on the vault. More competition from Hopkins High School after this timeout.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You will also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Hopkins on the vault. Lily Feinberg with her first vault, starting us out for the Royals. Tori Trevina, Key Murphy, Bella Hurt, and Annabelle Spears to follow.
She just had way too much energy on that vault. She does a half on full off, which is a really fun vault to start with. She just totally over-rotated that, had too much power, wasn't able to stand that up all the way.
But the good thing about the vault, you get 2 shots at it.
It's like a mulligan.
Right. Second vault here for Lily.
That time she just does a half on, half off. Probably played it a little bit more safe. Just, you know, it's not, doesn't have the degree of difficulty. It's not worth as much, but it was a much cleaner vault than the first one.
Tori Trevina up next. Junior with a high score of 8.55 in this event. Again, they've had 2 meets so far. They've won both of them.
Beautiful half on, half off with a really solid landing. What we're looking for on the vault, again, are those clean lines. We talk about it all the time, but straight arms, straight legs. Nice pre-flight, after flight. She has great distance, and she was able to land that with just a tiny step on that landing.
Score of 8.575 in Tori's first vault. Lily Feinberg's second vault was 7.975.
Beautiful. That one, you could tell she just was able to get that half twist all the way around. She was able to open up those hips a little bit, and she almost just floated into that landing. You'll see here, great body position. And you'll just see she just kind of floats down, not a step. That was perfect. Yeah, she's very excited about that. You know, we talk every season about that stuck landing, and when it comes down to 2 teams that are really close, it's usually the team that can stick the most landings and also who wins the beam.
Tori Trevina, 8.575. Key Murphy, senior, up next.
Doing, I believe, a handspring full. Again, great body position. Probably wants to block a little harder, get that twist going a little more. As you'll see here, she blocks and does that full twist. Just a small step on that landing as well.
Score of 8.15, bolt 1. Here's her second attempt.
Very nice. She had great distance on the afterflight in that. She was a solid landing again. No bending in the hips or the arms, and that should have a pretty good score for her. The handspring full has another blind landing where you're not actually able to see where you're coming down, and you'll see just a tiny hop on that landing.
8.3, so it does score a little higher than her first vault. Bella Hurt is next. Her high score so far this season, an 8.5.
Every gym we go to, that vaulting runway is so close to the wall. That would
Makes you
totally
nervous.
freak me out. Yes. And it's like they're not even phased. Beautiful. That is a gorgeous handspring full. The one thing that makes this so unique, her pre-flight, she has height. You'll see she'll hit that vault in a proper handstand, doesn't start twisting until she blocks off the vault and has a gorgeous full twist. She just wants to try to stick that landing a little bit better. I don't think you could do a handspring full better than this, with the exception of probably sticking the landing.
8.8 on her first vault.
First vault will be the score that takes it. She actually had it was a little bit higher on that after flight, but she just wasn't able to stick that landing.
He seems more amused by the air than anything, which is all right. It's the attitude you want. Like, well, all right, well,
I had one
good
really
one.
good one.
Right.
Yeah.
The second one does a score 8.3.
She just was a little bit loose when she was coming down and just wasn't able to hang on to that. But you're right, you had a good one.
Annabelle Spears, just a freshman. She is their top gymnast as far as scores this year. Top all around, 36.825, as high as 9.325 in this event.
Beautiful vault. So this vault is interesting. It is like she does a Yurchenko start, which is a round of back handspring, onto the springboard. Then she does a half twist onto the vault. Then she does a full twist off of the vault. We have not seen this vault. We've seen some Yurchenko back flips like the Sukahar, but we have not seen this. This is so unique. Here you'll see the round of back handspring, half on.
First vault was a 9.25. We'll see how this one scores.
Great score. There's a lot going on. So here we have the round off, back handspring, half twist on. It looks like almost a 1.5 twist. Really awesome vault.
And second vault scores a 9.1. So that first one in the 9.25 will go in the books. Good start for Annabelle and for the Royals on the vaults. We will take another timeout. Our third rotation is up next. We'll see the Wayzata Trojans on the vault when we continue with our meet from Hopkins High School after this timeout.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.
John Jacobson, Debbie Rasmussen, we are back at Hopkins High School. We're into rotation 3. Our first vaulter for Wayzata is Ella Milo. So Ella on the bars. She'll be followed by Ella KORTKAMP, Tatum Bolson, Sasha Arney, and Izzy Hayden.
Ella has a another gorgeous handspring full. She has such a great block. In talking with him earlier, she was really hoping to stick this one tonight, and she certainly did that. You'll notice her body position's great. She doesn't have any piking in the hips. There's no bending in the arms or the legs, and she has a beautiful block, and she blocks before she twists. Oh gosh, see, that one didn't quite make that all the way around. So again, in the world of gymnastics, it's nice to have 2 vaults. She just didn't get the block in the spin, the twisting on that second vault, but the first one was great.
8.9 on her first vault. Next up is Ella KORTKAMP. She is a sophomore. returning team state participant.
Does that Yurchenko start roundhouse back handspring onto the vault with a half twist off. Beautiful form, great block, and a very nice landing.
The coaches were nice enough to give us information about the girls and their scores and other things. And Coach Holden wrote about Ella KORTKAMP. Her fun fact, she collects rubber duckies. She has over 100 of them.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
7.95 the first vault for Ella. And she's got one more here.
Oh gosh, she was fighting so hard for that landing. She had a little bit of a pike in that, so she had to take a tiny step forward. This is such an incredible vault. Here she's doing a round-off onto that springboard, back handspring onto the vaulting platform, and then that half twist off. Again, when you're vaulting so close to the wall, depending on if you're a right-handed round-off or a left-handed round-off, you're either going towards the wall or away from it.
7.75 in her second vault to the first one higher. Tatum Bolson, her first vault tonight.
Beautiful handspring full. She is a powerful vaulter. When we're looking at that pre-flight, she hits the springboard and she has what we call air time. There's some time in the air prior to the hands hitting the vaulting platform, and then she has beautiful block, full twist, and a pretty decent landing on the end of that. And look at how strong the run is. Here's that great handspring, good body position, nice full twist. Just a little step on that landing.
Her first vault was an 8.875. We'll wait on vault number 2 and that score. Sasha Arnie will be up next for the Trojans. A good start for them here on the vault.
It is, and vault is such a great event to really create that momentum when your first vaulter goes pretty good and you can just build and build and build from there.
8.95 her score. Here's Sasha.
These handspring fulls from the Wayzata team are absolutely beautiful. Again, she has great airtime on that pre-flight. She has a block and she almost has airtime prior to the twisting. You'll see here, handspring block starting to twist just a tiny, tiny bit under rotated for that little step. This is a gorgeous vault.
This one scored a 9.075.
Again, nice vault, just an even smaller step on that landing.
One note about her career high on this event, 9.225, but Coach Holden says this vault is only out of a 9.4. So, you know, it doesn't have that degree of difficulty. He said that's the highest score she's ever seen, you know, relative to what the top score can be for her vault.
Yep, every vault has it's worth a certain amount of points. So if she were to hit a 9.4, that's a 10 in her world. Very nice.
9.15 the second vault. Here's Izzy Hayden.
Izzy doing a Sukahara vault there, which is a half onto the vault and a back flip off. Super strong, you'll see. Great half on, and she does this in a pike position, which is worth more. It increases that difficulty in this vault. There's a tuck position, a pike position, and who will forever forget Cheney New in the laid out position scoring that perfect 10. That was a first in this state. Is that 2 years ago she did that?
2 years ago, yeah.
Incredible vault.
Judges conferring on the score for Izzy Hayden's first vault.
And it's possible that she might only do one. I don't know if she's back down there, and you have that option. If you like the score in the first vault and you feel comfortable, can't tell if she's gonna go again or not. All right, looks like she is going to do a second vault.
First one was a 9.1.
beautiful. Again, the distance she has on the after flight is very impressive. So she has that half on is great. She has a beautiful pike in that, and just again fighting for that landing position there. Shoulders were down a little bit on that one versus the first one, but she had a smaller step, so it'll be interesting to see how this one scores.
I saw one of the two scores. I didn't see the other one. The 9.35 from the one, so it'll definitely be a little bit higher for Izzy on vault number 2. So congratulations to her. And that was her first time again in 2 meets. Didn't compete in the vault last week and comes out strong here to complete Wayzata's varsity rotation tonight.
Really, they have a strong vaulting squad in Wayzata. These are some beautiful vaults.
They're doing the warm-ups for the JV now. We will take a break. Hopkins varsity will be up on the uneven bars in a moment. More competition from Hopkins High School after this.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
There's the vault score for the team for Wayzata, a very solid 36.25. As you look at Carly Holden, 11th year head coach at Wayzata, and had a lot of good teams and athletes through the years. And this year, not as much varsity experience, but she had 4 girls come over from club, and we've seen a couple of them already compete tonight and making a big difference for them. As we move on to Hopkins on the bars, Janaea Love is their first gymnast.
Janaea starting out with a kip, cut, catch, switch kip, which is a mouthful, and it's a lot to do on that low bar too. So swinging very nicely. I love, wow. I have not seen that dismount in, I can't even tell you how long. Half twist, front flip with a beautiful landing. Sometimes when we do gymnastics for, you know, the many years that we have, we see the same tricks and the same dismount. So anytime somebody throws something that's a little unique, it's very fun. Again, her kip series, changing of the direction. Does that back hip circle right into the squat on. Long hang kip, cast, long hang kip. And you'll see here, she's gonna cast, switch her grip, half twist into a front flip. Nice routine. Big start for Hopkins.
Key Murphy will be up next. Janaea Love's score, 7.0.
Having a little judges conference here, you'll see that the scores are just too far apart, and so they want to figure scores can only be a certain amount apart. If they're over that, they have to come together and figure out, is one coach or judge gonna raise their scores, the other one going to bring theirs down a little bit. Just they have to be within a certain amount. It used to be 5/10. I'm not, or excuse me. Five. No, I can't remember myself. But if it's a too big of a gap, then we have to change those scores a little bit.
We did change it a little bit. It's now a 6.9 score for Janaea Love. And now Kay Murphy.
Again, the kip series with the switch kip, long hang kip to the high bar, big cast. Beautiful giants, great body position. Wonderful layout flyweight dismount, just that small step on the landing. This is picture perfect for those giants, and her layout dismount, perfect body position, just had to take that little step back. It'll cost her a 10th or two, but it was a very nice routine.
Next up, our first look at Jade Hutton. She is a sophomore, a high score of 7.6 this season in her 2 meets, competing on bars.
Getting those little words of encouragement before she takes her turn.
Of 8.25 for Kay Murphy, and now Jade Hutton.
Unfortunately there, that's just a little bit of a mistake. She was supposed to do a kip cut catch, but didn't quite have the momentum. These are free hips to that high bar, long hang kip casting. And really nice tuck flyweight dismount. It's just disappointing she wasn't able to make that kip cut catch connection, but the routine after that was wonderful. Solid landing and that tuck flyweight dismount.
Hopkins team high score this year, 139.2 last week against Minnetonka, had 137.2 against St. Louis Park. Both team wins for the Royals. As we mentioned, these teams will both compete at the Section 6 AA meet March 20th here at Hopkins High School. It's a Saturday. On the state meet the next week will be March 27th at Champlain Park High School.
I think at this stage of the game, it's just so, I'm just so glad that they actually get to have a season. You know, that was such in question, and the way that it ended last year, and you know, it's just fun that we are back. I think kids need this.
Yeah, absolutely. The gymnastics ones, the sports, fortunate that they got their season completed before COVID fully hit, unlike girls basketball and boys basketball. 7.1 the score for Jade Hutton. And now Janessa Reglos. Janessa's a junior. High score of 8.6 this year.
Beautiful, beautiful work on the bar. And again, that gorgeous tuck flyaway dismount, just a small step on the landing. When we are watching bars, we want to make sure that the bars are fluid. That meaning this trick goes into this trick and it just look effortless, and she makes that. Here are her giant swings. Gorgeous body position. And watch this double back. It is so high. Just that tiny step on the landing. That's higher than the high bar when she does that dismount.
They work on Janessa's score, and we'll wait for Annabelle Spears up next.
Watching Annabelle warm up, she's going to do a pack salto, which is a move that you see in the NCAAs, and you'll see it actually in the Olympics that are coming up, which, by the way, Minnesota is very well represented, possibly.
8.625 for Janessa Reglos. That's a season high for her.
Here comes that pack salto, and it's gorgeous. It's almost like doing a backflip in between the bars. She does that into a switch kip. She's going to get ready here for her giant series. Great body position, super strong arms. She does a layout with a full twist. She's adding to the difficulty of that, but it was the landing that was so good. This is the only second time in high school I've seen a pack salto in between the bars. Once was a gal from Park Center, but there she drops it right there. There's a tiny deduction for tapping her feet, and the more that she does this, that will get cleaned up. But look at that beautiful full twist. Not a step on that landing. This was a good routine.
Let's see if she can top her high score of 9.2.
With the tap of the feet after that pack salto, it depends. You know, was it a slight tap or, you know, so there'll be a small deduction, but that is such a difficult move. This year would have been so exciting. Like I said earlier, we've got 2 Minnesota girls that are vying for the Olympic team. We have Suni Lee and Gracie McCullum, who's actually from Twin City Twisters over in Maple Grove. And it's always fun to see the season after the Olympics when the United States does so good. So that just gives us, I guess, next year will be a fun year when we get to see that. I'm assuming the Olympics will happen. I'm kind of hoping so.
Well, we hope so, right?
Yeah.
This summer.
Yeah. The United States team is so far above where the rest of the world is right now that each girl could fall off an event and they'd probably, the level of difficulty that they have. But the rest of the world had a whole year to catch up to us too.
The judge is still conferring, I believe, on Janessa's score. We saw one judge post a 9.15, but still waiting to hear or see what the second score is.
I think a lot of it too is, you know, do you get the connection even though she had that tap of the foots and stuff? And so we are still, and now coach is involved in possibly, you know, looking at the score. You want to fight for your gymnast to make sure that they, especially of her caliber, when she is going to be a top contender for an all-around, potentially going to state, you want to make sure that every point possible is given to that gymnast.
Yeah, and we've seen this occasionally. You don't see it often, but once in a while the coaches will come over and talk with the judges about what they believe they saw, which is sometimes different from obviously what the judges have seen.
And you know, here's a sport that we are still judged by humans. So there's that, you know, a little bit of personal element too. I mean, every routine has a start value and then you deduct from there. I don't know if all the high school girls will actually be starting at a 10. I think some of them were. That one certainly was with a release move, you know, change of directions and all that. But I'm just curious as to where the discrepancy comes. I mean, that was a wonderful routine.
Well, we'll wait. We'll give you the score on the other side of the break. We'll be up next on the floor exercise. The Wayzata Trojans. We continue with more of our Lake Conference meet from Hopkins High School after this.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
We are underway on the floor exercise for Wayzata. Ella KORTKAMP leading the way. Marissa Dennis, Tatum Bolson, Izzy Hayden, and Sasha Arney to follow. Ella.
She opened up with a front handspring front layout, which was very nice. Round off full twist. Really original move there. Love that. doing a double turn into a handstand single pirouette. She's getting ready for her final tumbling pass at the end. Usually when you're the most tired. Round up back handspring layout. Into a nice ending position. When we're watching the floor exercise, the things that we definitely want to look for are the tumbling passes. We'll see here. This is her first one. She does a front handspring layout, beautifully done with great height. Her second tumbling pass is a round off layout with a full twist. Final tumbling pass then is a round up back handspring and a layout back flip. Girls need to show dance elements, connections. They need jumps, leaps, turns. You can, anytime you add a full twist to a jump or a leap, that's going to increase the value. Again, adding that, making that a connection will just increase the scores.
7.9, Marissa Dennis is up next.
Another opening tumbling pass, front handspring layout, front flip. This is a time when you get to see the gymnast personality really start to shine. They get to pick out their music. A lot of them help in the choreograph. Right there you'll see is a great connection. She did a switch split leap into a full twisting tuck jump. Round up back handspring layout with the half twist. Two full twisting split jump, full twisting wolf jump. Great combination. For that final tumbling pass. Round up two back handsprings into a back tuck. Nice routine. I love the music. It was choreographed to hit every beat that was going on, and that just makes it fun.
The look part of Marissa's routine again.
Front handspring layout front to open up. Here she does round up back handspring layout with a half twist. And final tumbling was round off two back handsprings into a nice tuck. She had great height.
Marissa is one of the four girls I mentioned that came over from club gymnastics, along with Ella Milo, Izzy Hayden, and Michaela Lundball, who unfortunately was hurt during warm-ups tonight, is not competing this evening. We are seeing the other three girls all compete here tonight, and Coach Holden said they've adapted very well to high school gymnastics from the club. And now it's Tatum Bolson.
Tatum opened up with a round up back handspring 1.5 twist. Had a great landing on that. That's her second tumbling pass. Wow, punch front, punch front. Great height on those. In your tumbling passes, you have to tumble in forward and backward. You have to have at least one of each. So if you're a good, strong front tumbler, you're going to tumble front ways for your first and last. Usually some girls have preferences. Wow, she does a full twisting wolf jump to a 1.5 twisting tuck jump. Final tumbling pass. Round up back handspring, full twist. Nice routine.
The scores so far, Ella KORTKAMP 8.025, and then Marissa Dennis 8.35. As we get part of Tatum Bolson's routine will await her score.
You see that opening was a 1.5 twist. That's a tough tumbling run to land again because you're coming out of that blind twisting. Her 2 punch fronts were beautiful. Here's this full twisting backflip. A little bit crooked on that. She had to take a step to the side. Just the most minor of deductions there. Really nice routine.
And the coaches said she increased her difficulty in the off season and this routine, and that showed and scored higher. Up next is Izzy Hayden.
Izzy has a really fun, strong opening. She does a round off 1.5 twist to a punch front. Great way to open. Here are those twisting split leaps.
Tatum Bolson score 8.9.
Does a front handspring layout front with a full twist. Just was a little short on that landing. She fought hard. She didn't have that fall. There'll be a deduction for the few steps backwards. A lot of people open with that, and here she puts that as her second tumbling pass. Pass is a round off double twist. This is jam-packed full of difficulty. You can tell by the smile she is having fun out there. You know, when you think about it, they had a month to prepare. This is only their second meet. Both teams are just showing us a lot of, you know, talent, and there's just nowhere to go but up from here. But these 2 first tumbling passes there, you'll tell she was just a little bit short. And this last one is great. It's a round off double twist to a really nice landing.
8.95 score for Izzy Hayden.
I think it should have been higher. Not gonna lie, you have that difficulty in those tumbling passes, you should have a 9.
Sasha Arney is up next. Top score on the floor. Their 1 meet again this year, which was a win over Eden Prairie, 9.3. See if she can top that this evening.
Again, opens up with that 1.5 twist into a punch front. Switch split leap into switch half split leap. Getting ready for the second one. Beautiful handspring front with a full twist and a solid landing on that one. She has a lot of height on those tumbling passes, so it makes it, she's a little bit of a taller gymnast too, so it looks so much prettier in the way she kind of floats to the endings there. Her height on her tumbling passes, which is really impressive. And you'll see here on this first one, round off 1.5 twist into a punch front. She almost lands that standing up. Here's her second tumbling pass. Front handspring into a front full. And then the final tumbling pass. Round off full twist. And again, she's tumbling her, she's as high as she is tall.
Judges will confer on the score here for Sasha Arney. They ran off with the score for Annabelle Spears before we could ever get it on the bars earlier. I promised we'd have the score.
And it was obviously the highest score.
Sometime this evening, yeah.
Highest score of the evening. Usually we sit closer to the judges' table so we can go ask. It's like all the way across.
Well, and you don't want to cross in front of where the gymnasts are sitting.
Exactly.
It's a different world we live in, but that's all right. We're going to hang on here for the score for Sasha.
You know, it's very interesting. In a dual meet like this, you have 2 judges per event. We have 3 judges here. One judge takes part of the JV, and they judge the entire JV on that event, and then 2 judges will judge the varsity girls. Imagine in a state meet, there's 4 on every event. So you want to make sure that you get the most accurate score possible. And those meet will usually start out with a head judge. The very first person up, there'll be 5 judges on the event because you have the head judge. Then the head judge goes to the next event and judges with those 4 judges, and so on, so that you have set a precedent for the scores before the meet actually fully gets underway.
Sasha Arnie, a 9.1, and completes Wayzata's routine and their rotation rather on the floor exercise. We're back with more Hopkins varsity up on the balance beam in just a moment.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.
We're back at Hopkins High School as the Royals are up on the beam. Janaea Love is their first competitor tonight. Janaea missed last year, had a broken foot. A lot of potential in this girl and what she can do, and just a good young gymnast.
She started out with a squat on mount directly into a half twisting wolf turn.
She is only a freshman.
Beautiful front walk over and right into that back handspring. The important thing here to get that connection is to keep your arms moving, which I believe they'll give it to her because she did. Gorgeous straddle jump into 3/4 twisting straddle jump. Nice back flip dismount. She had a lot of difficulty. You don't have to have that many passes as long as you get all your requirements into the meet. So you'll see here, she does a beautiful standing back tuck dismount with just the smallest step on the landing. When you are on the balance beam and you're the first one up, that is one of the most important jobs in any meet, because the beam, we always talk about the team. If teams are going to be close, it's the team that's going to come out on top on the balance beam. Usually is the team that will win the meet. And so your first girl up on the balance beam, she might not have all the difficulty, but she's going to be your most consistent. She's going to be that gymnast that hits every single time. She's going to set the stage for the other 4 gymnasts to follow. She has a really great score and your next 4 gymnasts perform just as well, those scores are going to increase. Usually the difficulty gets a little bit more as the routines go on, but that starting gymnast that starts off the beam is huge for any team. And this is the worst event to have a judges conference on, the absolute worst event, because it takes the most mental preparation to do this beam. That beam is 4 inches in width and 4 feet off the ground. If you get a chance to see, it's about the width of one of the gymnast's feet.
An 8.4 score for Janaea Love, and now Tori Trevina.
That is a huge score for Hopkins to start with. You see here she does that squat on mount immediately into the wolf jump. Great connection. The full turn is a requirement that every gymnast must have on the balance beam. Beautiful three-quarter twisting split jump. She does a cartwheel. She kicks that foot all the way through to the round off. Great connection. A couple of little balance checks there. She didn't fall off. Showing us some change of direction and some flexibility. Split jump into wolf jump. She has really nice height on those. Straddle jump to three-quarter wolf jump. And her dismount. Full twisting front flip.
Really well done for Tori Trevina. She is ecstatic about it.
She is very happy. You know, as far as the tumbling goes, maybe didn't have the difficulty, but those jumps and turns when you're adding three-quarters or even full twisting in there, here's one right here. It is so much more difficult than she makes it look. It's like, you know, every day, piece of cake, I just twist and jump on the beam. That one was beautiful too. It's been fun in the sport of gymnastics to watch the dance elements get the difficulty and the reward. You can tell she's very happy. Again, this is where a team gets on a roll. First up was a great routine. Second up, great routine. And as a coach, this is how you want your gymnasts.
8.3 the score for Tori Trevina. Her high had been 8.2, so up a tenth of a point, and now Janessa Reglos.
Beautiful start. She has a back shoulder roll there. Switch leap immediately into that twisting wolf jump. And there's that required full turn. Wolf jump into another three-quarter twisting split jump. These are all really good combinations that she's been able to do so far. Cartwheel swings through to that round off, immediately into the back flip. She was off a little bit to the side there, but what was most important is she didn't stop, so she's going to get those connections for that. So she does that cartwheel. She swings the foot all the way through. You can tell she's off a little bit, but still goes ahead and throws it and gets a strong connection. A little bit of a deduction for being off to the side there. But again, a nice routine.
Just look at Emily and Megan Johnson. I was talking to Megan before the meet. She said, you know, this is a team that has the potential to beat Wayzata, which hasn't happened in their 9 years as coaching this program, and hadn't happened in the years before, immediate years right before that either. But that's a team, if they don't beat them tonight, they do need to do it at the section meet if they want to win their first section championship in a couple of decades, I would guess.
And you can
and they have the talent to possibly do it.
Oh, they definitely do. And you can bet both teams are going to take away from this meet what it is that they're going to need to bring to the next time these two compete against each other, because it will be for a trip to state. 8.9
for Janessa Reglos, a season high for her. Annabelle Spears, we finally did get her bar score, 9.0, and now here she is on the beam, where she has scored as high as 9.2 this season.
Started out with 2 one-handed front walkovers. Nice job, didn't fall. Little balance check on that last front walkover, but her jump and leap sequence there was very nice.
Royals also without Vivian Paulson. She's out with a knee injury. A varsity all-arounder. They hope to have her back in a couple of weeks as well, which is certainly would help them. That was well done by Annabelle Spears. She stuck that.
That was super. Look at how excited she is. That back flip was solid, and there was not any movement at all on that. And then the connection to the dismount, she does the twisting jump immediately into the full twisting dismount off to the side. Great connection. That should score really well. See that? She did 3. She does like a flutter jump into a twisting wolf jump into a full twisting back flip dismount. This is what you want as a coach, to see each of your gymnasts just get that energy and that momentum going, and the scores just seem to, you know, keep climbing, and it all was because the first girl up, she was rock solid too.
.925 for Annabelle Spears, and here's Jade Hutton. Deb would tell you she would think that score should have been in the 9.
Yep. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of thinking things are just a little low here today. Beautiful, beautiful straddle jumps. They are above hip level and very nicely done.
Jade's high score has been 9.0 on the beam.
Again, she had some balance checks on that tuck, but boy, did it have some great height on it. There's wolf jump into another. A little bit of a hesitation connecting those two together. You want to make sure that you do that. There's that cartwheel into the round off. Nice job. Walks, getting ready for her full twisting backflip dismount to a rock solid landing.
That was a really good rotation for Hopkins on the beam.
That's got to be a team high. And you'll see here, she just nailed that landing. A couple of little balance checks in between on there, but again, Hopkins had a great rotation on the balance beam. It was just, each score just kept getting higher and higher. Not high enough for my book personally, but you know, I'm not a judge, I'm just a commentator.
That's what we pay you the big money for, right?
Let me tell ya. It's funny, over all the years, you know, John and I have been sitting together for 20-some odd years, and you can get pretty close to what the scores should be. It's very impressive.
This one scores an 8.95 for Jade Hutton. And that completes Hopkins on the bounce beam. Wayzata meeting, they will be up next. They'll have their warm-ups, and then we'll continue with more competition with the Trojans varsity. Their last event of the night, the balance beam. It's up next.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
John Jacobson and Debbie Rasmussen back at Hopkins High School. There you can see the team scores for each of our first 6 rotations so far. Wayzata will have their final event here coming up on the balance beam.
You know, Wayzata's got their work cut out for them just because Hopkins was super strong. All 5 girls on beam did great. So here we go with Wayzata.
Ella KORTKAMP leading things off for Wayzata. So Ella in the last event on the floor exercise. And also earlier in the vault tonight.
Beautiful connection, back handspring into back walkover. Oh, that's such a great connection. That jump is called a ring jump, and what makes that so difficult is your eyes completely come off the balance beam when she throws her head back. Here doing, oh gosh, that was a scary, scary, scary dismount. I hope that she is okay there. She was doing a move called a tic-tac, which is a front walkover. You touch your foot, you come back. This was gorgeous, that back handspring right into that back walkover, great. And here you'll see she does a touches, then as she comes back, she slips. And it looks like she's, you know, probably more scared than anything, because rather than doing the backflip, she ends up going almost for a back handspring, which it's just really good that she did not get injured in that and stuff like that. But your body is so used to just throwing that last trick that she just went for it, which is good, because she, you know, they could have gone a little bit worse as far as, you know, she didn't get injured, and that is the best. But that was a really nice routine up until that point. She had a lot of unique and difficult things in there.
It looks like it stung a little bit as you look at her now.
I think you're more shaken because you just automatically go for that last trick, but she didn't have both of her feet on the balance beam, so. She did come down hard on those hands, so that might. So now here you are in Wayzata. You have 5 gymnasts, 4 scores count. You've had a fall, so you're hoping that your next 4 gymnasts can stay on the balance beam and keep the momentum going. And the next girl up, this is one of the hardest positions to be in after a teammate has fallen.
Marissa Dennis will wait as the judges continue to work on Ella KORTKAMP's score, and I'm sure that that dismount has something to do with it, how that is scored.
Right, because you know she had the connection from the tic-tac into that backflip, but the backflip wasn't successful. So what's the deduction for the connection and the fall at the same time? But these are the meets. If you're going to have some quirky things happen, do them in the dual meets, because you want to be strong, solid, and ready when that section meet comes.
Ella scored a 7.5, and now here's Marissa Dennis.
Squat on immediately into the wolf jump.
Marissa, sophomore, her high score. The meet they had last week, 7.8. Wayzata with 2 meets coming up next week against Breck and Buffalo. Hopkins with 1 meet next week against Eden Prairie. Again, this is the 2nd meet of the season for Wayzata, the 3rd for Hopkins.
Showed us that cartwheel round-off connection. Oh gosh, there she was. She was just off. Anytime your shoulders don't stay, your shoulders or your hips don't stay square with that balance beam, it's so easy to come off on the side before you even know it. Beautiful half twist split jump there. Getting ready for her dismount. Back handspring into a back flip with, again, a really solid landing. Unfortunate, had the fall. You know, it's a 5/10 deduction for a fall. And again, we have to remember this balance beam is only 4 inches wide. It is so easy to be off to the side. This was a beautiful combination, back handspring into back flip dismount. Just a tiny step on that landing. There it is. It is literally 4 inches. You know, and if you have a wider foot, then your foot's gonna, you know, it's gonna be wider than the balance beam. By far, to me, this is the most mental draining event that you have, but yet when you hit, it is so rewarding to do well on the balance beam.
Tatum Bolson is up next.
Good picture there of her feet.
.9 score for Marissa Dennis.
We'll do a tumbling combination here. We've got back handspring, which will go right into the back walkover. Here's that full turn. Just a little bit off. She had to drop her shoulders a tiny bit. Split jump, 3/4 split jump. Those were beautiful, solid, and no balance checks. Wow, that is so much more difficult than it looks. She does a full twisting tuck jump into a back flip off of the side. Great connection. You know, and she had a tough spot too. You've gotten 2 girls that have fallen, so now you want to start. Let's see if I can stick my routine and then build from there. Here's that tuck jump right to the back flip off on the side. Nice connection.
Izzy Hayden is up next. One note about her dismount, Deb, we'll watch for really hard back handspring into a full twist. We'll watch for that coming up here. 8.35 the score for Tatum Bolson.
Izzy watching her warm up. She's just a pretty gymnast up on the balance beam. She's got such poise. She's fluid and she's just fun to watch. Does that wolf jump into a standing back flip. Great connection. Nice height on that back flip. Switch leap into a switch leap half twist. Here comes this. She's going to do 2 back handsprings in a row into that back flip. There's 1, 2, full twist. Just a step back on that landing. Otherwise, really, really nice routine. Here's that wolf jump into that standing back tuck. And this is just, I mean, you're seeing these kinds of things in the NCAAs and you know, in the elite gymnastics when they're doing 2 back handsprings in a row into that back flip dismount and just a, you know, she doesn't just do a layout, she does a full twist on that one too.
Good job by Izzy Hayden. Sasha Arney will be up next. Izzy's score in their first meet, 9.175. We'll see where this one lands her.
It better be a 9 or I might have to stand up.
You're going to have to leave.
I'm going to get mad. And I'm scary when I'm mad, right, Tom?
That's right.
Looks like they had there's a problem with the score turner over there. They couldn't get it to.
Here's Sasha Arnie. Izzy Hayden scored 9.225.
All right, that works for me. Those two cartwheels are just so pretty to watch. She just is totally in control up there. Beautiful switch leap to that twisting split jump. And another back handspring into a full twist. Nice job, Wayzata finished strong on the balance beam. They'd probably like to have those first couple of routines again, but again, this is only their second meet. Hopkins has had 3. This was great. Back handspring, full twist. They definitely, when we come to the end of March and these two teams have had all their meets under their belt, they've done a lot more in practice. I'm excited to see what will happen and who will come out on top because both teams have so much talent.
And it'll be a score of 9.2 to close Wayzata out. So really, the last 3 routines, Tatum Bolson didn't fall, kind of setting the tone. The 9.225 from Izzy Hayden and Sasha Arnie at 9.2. Great finish for the Trojans.
Great finish for the Trojans, and like I said, they have potential to have all 5 routines in the 9s. They just, you know, it was a tough start for them, but the last 3 gymnasts held it together and finished really strong.
We're going to take a break. We'll come back. It'll be Hopkins up on the floor exercise, our 8th and final rotation tonight. Up next on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Well, here we go with one event to go. Hopkins on the floor exercise. They'll need a solid routines, 4 of them rather, to be able to catch Wayzata tonight. And Tori Torino leading it off. High score this season, 8.3 in this event.
She started off with a round-up back handspring half twist. I don't know if you can tell, but she was like smiling through the whole thing, and that just makes it so much fun and enjoyable to watch a gymnast who's having an amazing time on the floor. Beautiful punch front, punch front. Great music, and she's really working it. Gorgeous 1.5 twisting jump. Anytime you add a half twist, it increases it, but a full twist or 1.5 twist, taking some time to catch her breath as she gets ready for the last tumbling pass. I love that the teammates are doing the same routine on the sidelines. Bringing up 2 back handsprings into, again, a really high back flip. That was just fun to watch, and she had fun doing it. She played to the crowd. She was playing, well, kind of the crowd is not a huge crowd, but it is a crowd. So, you know, happy about that. But it becomes hard when you are out there and you don't have the crowds that you're used to performing in front of. So you really do rely on your teammates, and both teams have done such a great job creating an environment to allow their gymnasts to have fun, be successful. She just had fun, and it showed.
Very excited about that score. She won 9.1. Let's see what the other one flipped around is. There we go, 9.05. So 9.075. And considering her high was 8.3, that was a big jump and a great start for Hopkins here on the floor. And now Bella Hurt. Bella, a gymnast who continues to improve her floor every year. And Coach Johnson says she's a new front twisting tumbling pass. That's fun to watch.
She does a handspring front 1.5. She just didn't quite get it all the way around, and her feet just came out from underneath her. But again, these are the meets. If you're gonna have it happen, do it now instead of that final meet of the season. And she's still smiling. That's good. Gosh darn, she does a handspring front layout. Doesn't quite make it all the way around, but she makes the best of it with a huge smile. Full twisting jumps and leaps there. Getting into the corner for that final tumbling pass. Round up 2 back handsprings and just doesn't have enough energy to make it all the way around. Oh. She put on a brave face. That's not the way she wanted the routine to go, but she still smiled during it and made it, you know, made the best out of this situation. But you'll see here, she was just short a little bit. She didn't quite get that twist all the way around, and her feet just kind of came out from underneath. And here she does that handspring layout, and again, didn't quite have all the momentum. And round up 2 back handsprings. And again, just kind of looks like, oh, she must have a sort. Looks like she's icy in the back there. So this is a terrible event to end on when you have a little bit of an injury there.
Judges will confer on Bella's score. Janae Love, Janessa Reglos, and Annabelle Spears still to come here for Hopkins. Good to be back in the gym again, Devin, and fun to see these girls and these coaches again competing.
You know, and I was just so excited when I got the call that we were going to come back, and it's under different circumstances, but it's still fun. And I'm just so happy for the girls that they get to have a season this year, and for all the sports that are out there.
Bella Hurt scores 7.5 now. Janae Love, the top score this year on the floor, 8.75.
Wow, she has a very high round-up back handspring full twist. She opens up with a double twisting pirouette. Definitely having fun with the choreograph. Getting ready for that second tumbling pass. 2 punch fronts. Love that straddle jump into a Shushinova. It's ready for this third and final tumbling pass. It was a round-up back handspring. It looks like there was supposed to be a third trick after that. Not quite sure what happened. But better to be safe than sorry if she wasn't feeling like she was gonna be able to complete it and be safe. Nice routine. She will just miss the skill. It was probably, you know, her score will suffer a little bit from it. There was that round of back handspring full twist. Beautiful. Here's her 2 punch fronts. Nice job. And you'll just see here she was going for a round of back handspring. I'm not quite sure, but just didn't have the mentalness to throw that last trick.
(8-0) the score for Jade. Now Janessa Reglos. Janessa's high, 8.725.
Wow, that was wonderful. She does a round off 1.5 twist. You see that they have that extra mat up there, and there's no deduction for having that. It just helps with the landing to, you know, protect the ankles and things. She's got some wonderful twisting dance elements in there.
Janessa, a gymnast that they hope to have her on varsity all around soon with the Yurchenko vault being added for her other apparatus for varsity.
She does a layout front into a punch front. Nice job. Good pronunciation on the Yurchenko jump.
Thank you.
Very impressed.
You've rubbed off on me after all these years. Watched a lot of gymnastics there.
You have. You know the names of things.
By watching the Olympics now.
Yeah, see?
That's a great routine for Janessa Reglos.
Really nice routine, and she's got she's got all the difficulty in the tumbling passes as well as the dance combinations too. That's a beautiful round off 1.5 twist. You'll see here she does a layout punch front into a tuck punch front. Nice job, great landing, and then ends up final tumbling pass, round off full twist. So what makes this routine special too is she has twisting elements in the first pass and the last pass.
Score of 9.075, so that's a season high for Janessa Reglos, about 0.3 point higher than what she's had before in the first 2 meets. And now Annabelle Spears trying to best her mark on the floor exercise, her season high 9.25.
The Hopkins team has really come on strong after, you know, that one routine didn't go as planned. Beautiful. She does a double twist or a double pirouette into a 1.5 twisting jump. You can tell she was really happy about that. She does a 1.5 twist into a punch front. Love the originality in this. Having fun and smiling all the way through. Round up double twist. Beautifully done. The choreographing on this is just excellent. She has one tumbling pass left. Round off full twist.
Wow, that was one of the fun routines I've seen in a while. That was great.
Oh my stars, that was super cute. And she played to that music and to the teammates in the little crowd that we do have here. She was an entertainer. That is a performance along with all the difficulty she has. So here's that opening tumbling pass. It's a 1.5. And you can tell she was liking that. And here she comes. Round up double twist. So she had twisting elements in all 3 of those tumbling passes, plus just a outstanding, unique routine. Like you said, John, one of the funnest we've seen in a long time. Fun to watch.
She scores a 9.20, and that is our final gymnast of the night. We'll tally the team scores. We'll come back, wrap things up. It's Wayzata, Hopkins Gymnastics. We'll wrap things up from Hopkins High School right after this.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Well, our final score tonight, it was a close one as we expected. The Wayzata Trojans just edged the Hopkins Royals 138.8 to 138.625. Deb, we were treated to some outstanding gymnastics tonight and a tight meet. Wayzata wins. For their go to 2-0 on the season. Hopkins now 2-1. And again, we will see these teams at Section 6AA here at Hopkins High School on March 20th in the 6AA meet. So that'll be fun and really good competition. Again, it's still early in the season for these girls too.
It is, and boy, I got to tell you, I think this is the closest meet that we have ever been a part of and witnessed and stuff. And you saw both teams had struggles on some events, and then they had some really great successes on other events. I am really surprised at how close it was.
The all-around champion tonight, Annabelle Spears from Hopkins, 36.375, and Sasha Arney of Wayzata was second, 36.175. So these teams have about 5 weeks to get ready for section competition. But these teams, again, will be the ones to watch. And one of them will emerge, I would expect, out of this section and get to state in late March at Champlain Park High School.
And you know, being that the season has been shortened, what they do now when they go back into the gym, practices are probably a little bit more stressful, a little bit more intense. You want to start to get those numbers of how many routines you're doing every day on each event, because you eventually want those girls to feel so comfortable on each piece of apparatus that it's just like being in the practice gym. But when you have half a season, you don't get those numbers. You don't get the consistencies. So it is, believe it or not, crunch time for these teams to fine-tune things, and it's only February.
That will do it for our competition tonight. Deb, great to be with you in the gym again. We've got more gymnastics from Northwest Suburban Conference coming up later this season. So watch for that here on CCX. For Debbie Rasmussen and all of our crew, I'm John Jacobson. Again, it's Wayzata just edging Hopkins tonight, 138.8, 138.625. Good night from Hopkins High School.
Glad to be back.